Cool.
You can never miss that.
Yeah, I know. So welcome, Carolyn. This is fun.
Very fun. And we're both in the Pacific time zone. How does it get any better?
Right. So it can be coffee. Actually, when I started this, it was during the lockdown, and I had friends from all over the place, and it was very late in the night, so they were drinking wine or whatever.
No, coffee. My nice little dormouse on a dandelion.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that.
Yeah.
So what's been going on in your world?
Lots. I mean, even though we're still limited in travel, there's lots you can do online. Lots, and now I can travel within Canada with ease. And what would it take to be able to travel elsewhere with ease, right? So lots. And I am very grateful for the access tools every minute of every day.
So true.
Yeah.
I mean, I went and visited my mom for 3 days.
Oh, wow.
On the East Coast, and she has the news on all the time. And I don't watch the news, so I don't get indoctrinated like that. And I can see they're really good actors. And I can see how, people can get all crazy if they're not using tools.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I haven't watched TV for years and have a TV, mostly use it for access classes. But I do see things come up on my Facebook feed, and I'm just like, wow, yeah, that indoctrination is a bit scary. And people think that I am just being an ostrich, not paying attention. My day-to-day is what else is possible. That's a tool that, I mean, we both know, access consciousness tool. And really, in every minute, what else is possible? And I don't know whether no, I don't think I'll say that. This is being recorded. But really, for everything, you're not having enough work because of COVID. What else is possible? I have friends who have created all kinds of new businesses and are so happy because they've done that. And, they may never go back to their job. And I've had an interesting 2021. My husband passed away at the end of 2020, very unexpectedly. And I don't know what I would have done without the access tools. And I'm grateful that I never have to find out. Every day, I think of him and I just be in gratitude and what else is possible, and just be an allowance for his choice, and just like, oh my gosh. And I've had lots of judgment because people thought that I didn't care. But they don't know the tools.
Yeah. That's one of the hard things, isn't it? Yeah. To know what you know and know how deeply you care, and then have other people judge you that you're not caring.
Yeah. But I'm known. I don't mind. I don't mind if people judge me. I really, frankly, don't care.
Have you always had that?
No, are you kidding?
Well, how did you get there? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people, and there's certain things that it's totally easy to receive judgment on, and then there's other things that are still kind of sticky.
When I started access, taking classes and all that, and I remember going to my first foundation class, and we learn about, we talk about judgment and all that, and I remember saying, but how do I know how to live and behave if I'm not judging what I do and what I say?
Mhm.
And it was just mystifying, because isn't that what you do? You judge everything you do and everything you say, and then you can adjust your course. I don't believe that anymore. And the idea of allowance and being the rock in the stream, and it doesn't really matter. Everything just flows by. And people can say, oh, well, you know, I guess you're not emotional. I guess you don't, you know, like that. And you're just like, okay, thanks. Oh, I'm happy. Just, I'm happy.
Mhm.
People judge you for being happy.
Yes, they do.
And that's so funny.
Yes.
And I've been on the other side. I totally get it. That idea of you have to judge. I used to go to bed at night, and for an hour or so, I'd judge myself for everything I did and said during the day that I didn't think was, you know, totally kind or, you know, tolerant or anything. Oh my God, what a waste. So like kind of the opposite, and we're talking a lot about this in Access right now, is we tend to look at what's wrong and try to fix it instead of looking at what's right and what more can we create and what else is possible.
Yeah. Like,
That's,
where are you putting your energy? Yeah.
yeah, it's and that is, I really get that now. Even when I'm, you know, naked out of the shower looking in the mirror, I no longer go, oh, look at, you know, my belly, I need to do more sit-ups and all this. I mean, no, it doesn't, like, and most of the time it doesn't even cross my mind to start down that path. Instead of
Wow.
looking at what I want to fix, I'm like, wow, you look pretty fucking awesome for
Yep.
whatever your age is.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yesterday, I was having lunch with my daughter, and she's in a very big transition stage right now, with not liking her job and wanting to change it, and wanting to move out and these kinds of things. And she goes into this stress, and even though she grew up in Access, she's in the resistance phase to Access.
Yeah.
So she's having a really hard time with it. And she like creates this downward spiral black hole. And like, there's nothing I can say, really. It's just be there. And it's so fun to watch her get these epiphanies. She's like, I wonder what I could do, to pull myself out of this. And I said, what about thinking about, what you are grateful for? People say, write a gratitude list. And as soon as you start, and I'm like, can you be grateful for the breeze? Because otherwise it would be hot right now. And she's like, yeah. And then like the whole energy started shifting as she started thinking about just a few things. But then she went back down. And so you can really see where you're putting your energy and what that creates. Like, it can be that quick. You can pull yourself out of doom and gloom.
Yeah. And yeah, again, I'm so grateful. I had a bad day last week, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't know whether I can afford to stay here, and maybe I have to move, and I miss Michael, and like all this sort of thing. And I'm like, I let that go for a little while. I'm trying not to judge myself about that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started like, okay, Carolyn, you have all these tools. Why don't you ask a question instead? So I started asking questions, and again, as you said, being grateful, and well, everything got better. And in fact, a Access friend of mine is going to become my roommate in a couple of months. So that covers a lot of, like, instead of going more into what was wrong with my life, I'm like, okay, what else is possible, and what he's joy and glory and all that sort of thing. And now her moving in covers quite a few of what I might have considered gaps. So yeah, if we're not looking at what else is possible, we're cutting off so much that is possible.
Yes. And asking a question like that is so difficult.
I know.
Not, but it is, but it isn't, you
No.
know?
And if it's somebody like, maybe like your daughter or other people who are resistant, you don't even have to ask it out loud.
Mhm,
You just say it in your head.
mhm,
I know when Michael was still with me, he was in and out of being resistant to access, but he'd taken many classes.
mhm,
And he used the tools. He didn't always realize he was using the tools, but that's
mhm.
fine. But when he would go into his like, well, that's not going to work and blah, 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 blah. And I would just, it wasn't instant, but I would be in allowance. This is after a few years of doing this. I'm like in my head. And then I would just start to giggle. And he's like, oh, shut up. And he would laugh and it would be over. And he would choose something different. So it's like you don't even have to do it out loud. And
Yeah,
it's being happy, asking questions is an invitation for people to do the same.
it's so true. And just that little smirk and like not going there, not aligning and agreeing with the trauma, drama, upset.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
Because then you resist and react. And then
Yeah.
it's like you're locked in.
I did that yesterday for a little while. I was in resistance and then, then I got stuck. And man, it did not feel good because I don't live my life from that contracted place anymore. I just made a demand to choose light. And
Yeah,
a good 20 minutes was about all I could take. And it's like, forget that. Like, let her suffer if that's what she wants to do.
yeah. It's being an allowance of what they're choosing. And that's really one of the hardest things I've found is that you can see what would create so much greater. And they're not, and it's their choice.
I'm always looking at what would allowance for me be, because I have a lot of allowance for other people. But then I end up being the site where they back up their dump truck, and just dump.
That's a good image.
So like, how do you get to allowance for you as well?
That's a good question. It's an ongoing process. And yeah, it's just asking questions. It's making choices. I mean, one of the questions that Dr. Dane talked about recently was, okay, what's true allowance for you? Like, and it's more like just lifting that pressure of self-judgment, and the more it goes away, the more allowance you're in, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, I did all that yesterday. I had a wonderful day. I was really happy, and what's next? Like instead of analyzing it,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
getting into that place where you don't have to analyze it.
mm-hmm.
Oh, I probably had too much caffeine yesterday. So I woke up at 4:30. Oh, well.
Yeah. I also find like just going outside, taking a walk, like just getting away from the situation to give yourself physical space as well as mental space.
Yeah.
Really helps.
Yeah. And just being, I live in Victoria on Vancouver Island, west coast of Canada. And it's, even though I live in the city, close to downtown, it's all trees and gardens. And, I see the deer walk by nearly every day. And there was a raven hanging around yesterday and all that. And it's just, I'm so grateful. I don't even have to go outside to have that connection. The birds buzzing my window, and yeah, there's a squirrel running across the hydro wire.
Nice.
So yeah, nature. I had my bars run last night, so
Yes, that tool always helps.
yeah.
Yep.
Even running your own.
Yeah.
Sometimes I lie in bed and I'm running my own, and the cat's like, you should be patting me.
Yeah, I was actually doing that this morning. You can put your thumbs in the implant band and then put your fingers up on aging her body and say, "Hi." Oh, it's, you just lie back and
That's good. Yeah. Julie, I don't know. I mean, I know that COVID has been difficult for people, and I'm grateful. It really has not been for me. I like being by myself. I mean, when my husband was here, he worked from home too, mostly, and traveled. And so we just sort of flowed through COVID. I missed traveling, but that's it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
and if I didn't have the tools, I'm sure we would have been much more stressed. I know.
there is something to say for the relaxation. Like even if you don't have any idea of what the tools are, if you can relax in your own way, do meditation, go for a walk, whatever, then all of the fear that they're pushing doesn't land.
Yeah. And you don't have to live in that space.
Yeah. And I don't know. I guess I've always had a sense of what was true and what was not true for me. And when something felt really, really heavy, I noticed it.
Yeah.
And I would just not go there.
Yeah.
You know, getting into a car or going this direction or whatever, it felt really heavy. I was like, oh, no, thank you.
And I used to call it my gut instinct.
Yeah.
Follow your gut. Yeah.
And almost everything that they're talking about, and stay at home and this is awful, and you can get and people wearing gloves and masks and like triple mask, and it's just like that, just
hazmat suits.
So beyond, like,
yeah,
don't you have a strong immune system? Don't you trust your body to know where you can be, where you cannot be? Don't be stupid and go into a crowd and like touch everybody and kiss everybody, but like,
yeah, no, it's very funny. I'm going to a party tonight, an outdoor party, and everyone there is fearful of COVID. They're all, I'll be the youngest person there. And it's interesting to be there in that. And they're willing to be happy though, this group a little bit. But when I talk to my siblings, it's worry, 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 worry. And I just try to giggle as much as possible. Change up the energy. What else can we do, really? I mean, I know there are lots of tools that we can do to contribute to the planet, but just ordinary, everyday, normal people, as you say, can choose gratitude, can choose relaxation, can choose like fun.
Living, like, if you're totally in fear and shut in your home and not having any fun, like what's the point of living?
Like my mother-in-law hasn't been outside except to go to her vaccine.
Oh gosh.
In months. Yeah. And what else is possible? It is their choice. Yeah. This is incredibly relaxing, Julie. Speaking of which, oh, my chair is so squeaky. I'm really, really playing with that, choosing what else is possible rather than analyzing anything or trying to fix what I think is wrong. that has made, like, it seems so simple, but we don't choose that, and it's made a big difference.
Mhm.
Even this week, even this last 24 hours, and yeah, what else is possible?
Awesome. Yep. It's a great message.
So what else is possible? My coffee's getting cold.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that, because about a month ago, it was record-breaking heat for days and days here. We're not used to, my office was like 32 degrees, or well over 100 degrees in it.
Mhm.
Nobody has air conditioning here. We
Mhm.
don't need it. So I don't mind, my coffee's a little cold. It stayed hot then.
That's interesting. Yes, it's Northern California. We don't tend to have a whole lot of really hot weather, and last year around this time it was a heat wave, and there were all these fires, and it was so bizarre because first of all you have to stay home, and we were all like in quarantine, and the sky was orange, like brown orange, and it like all day long. Like it didn't seem like morning,
Yeah.
afternoon. It was so creepy in a way. Oh, I didn't even think of clearing the smoke entities then.
Yeah. We've got a little bit of that here. We're away from all the fires on mainland BC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smoke entities, and like every minute you could use a different tool. Well, every 10 seconds we talk about choosing it in 10-second increments. And that, are you going to focus on what you think is wrong, or are you going to focus on what is possible? Every 10 seconds you get to choose. I'm finally starting to really get that 10 seconds.
It takes a while.
Yeah. You can do it for a little while and then not, and then.
Yeah. It's, like any muscle.
Yeah. That's right.
And oh gosh, I was trying to explain, when you try to explain what access is, or, what your quote business is to somebody who has no clue. And it's like, well, it's about expanding your awareness and being more present and, creating your life through ease. And they're like, what do you mean awareness? Like, what is
What do you mean ease?
oh, huh. So, you kind of have to pull some of their strings, see where they're creating that in their life. And then, oh, you mean, that. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I find that asking the question, what else is possible, with people like that, is so open-ended and non-confrontational that it can change the energy and they don't resist. How does it get any better than that?
Yeah. They'll say it doesn't. Yeah. They
Yeah.
can't really answer that.
Yeah. Yeah. But what else? Oh, so what else is possible here? I have one sister who's a real worrier, lovely person, but always worries about every possible combination of things or whatever. And I'll say, well, I wonder what else is possible here. And then I'll walk away or something. And there's no resistance.
Yeah.
That, I know that's
Brilliant.
kind of my theme today. What else is possible? Wow, I wonder what else is possible here. Haven't quite gotten that across to my cat, but we're working on it. What else is possible, Jax? I'm sure you don't need another can of food today.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm grateful. And I remember having lunch with you in San Francisco at the ABC, and we had wonderful dim sum.
Oh, wow. That was a while ago.
Oh, I always remember food. I love food, and I love dim sum.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, you can even use the tools for eating, right?
Absolutely.
You mentioned it a little bit earlier about asking your body what it would like. And that is really something that we're not ever taught, is it? This, the way the world runs, the way this reality is, we're taught to, okay, you need to eat, what is it, 9 to 12 servings of vegetable, drink X amount of water, cut out too much salt and red meat and all that sort of thing. And it's never asking your body what it would like. So that's another, okay, body, what else is possible here?
Yeah, it's so true. My dad isn't supposedly drinking enough water, and it's causing some health problems. And so when I was talking to him, I said, you know, you have a pool, like you could go float in the pool for a while and absorb the water that way, so you don't have to drink so much, since you won't drink. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't go in, doesn't compute. It's, I don't know. I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah.
What else is possible?
People don't want advice. Oh dear. But I do have water because my body likes to have it.
Yeah. I've recently been really enjoying coconut water ever since I went to Mexico for the foundation, the Global Foundation. And somebody was bringing this big coconut to somebody over there with a straw. And I was like, oh, my body like almost leapt off the chair for that. And so I started ordering them. And then when I came home, you know, buying the Vita Coco, oh my gosh, it's just like so happy.
Yeah, and it's almost wrong in its reality to enjoy your food so much. I have people make fun of me because I'll be eating something and it's like, oh my God, it's so good. Can I just like smush it all over my face? And they're like, oh, Carolyn, you're so weird. But don't you like your food? Like, really? That's one easy
same
thing.
thing with like clothes and jewelry. And
Yeah.
people are like, oh, well, I don't go out anymore, so why do I need jewelry? It's like, because your body likes it, like food.
Yeah. And well, maybe we just will never share the tools because, well, we have so much fun and we can just keep it to ourselves. Just for me, just for fun, never tell anyone. I never used to understand that.
Well, that's partially why these conversations are so fun, because other people can listen in and take what they want.
Yeah.
And leave the rest.
Well,
don't
don't listen to Julie's coffee time because, of course, you might actually get happy.
And if nothing else, just the energy of us coming together and being this space and being this nurturing. Like people don't really get what it is that we're doing, because we're not doing, we're being. Yeah. And just being around people who are not in judgment, who are choosing joy and ease and being space, no point of view, is naturally healing.
And so inviting. And you never know, like to a meeting like this, and it's like we're just having this semi-desultory chat, as you said, but the energy. And then, 2 months down the line, somebody might listen and go, oh, and it changes their life. I know.
What else is possible?
That's right.
Thank you so much for coming on and joining me. I know it was kind of last minute for you.
Oh, thank you, Julie. No, I'm always happy to talk about the tools.
Awesome.
So I'm grateful, and we'll see you soon, I hope.
Yeah.
In person, I hope.
Yes. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and everybody out there.
You too.
Listen again.
What else is possible?
Share with a friend.
Thanks, Julie.
Bye.
Bye.